Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Monday. Okay, guys, so we're getting ready to get into all of this shit, especially the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And you guys know that since it's Monday, that means that this is officially my birthday week. So, this upcoming Saturday, if you guys are not available, well, definitely make sure that you get available because we are going to be throwing a 31st birthday bash in downtown Charleston on King Street on July 6th. That's Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, with special guests Monica Garcia from Salt Lake City and Daisy from Below Deck Sailing Yacht. Plus, we have an incredible DJ and so many other people you'll recognize. But please, please, please come out and play. In the meantime, though, if you guys have not already gotten subscribed, get subscribed. If you're not already hitting that like button, hit that like button. If you haven't hit the notification bell, hit that too. And let's jump right in.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
Okay, guys. So I'm like, where do we start with this shit? Well, I'm guessing probably with the Real Housewives in New Jersey. All right. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but thank you to Reality Blurb. Last night's episode, you guys. It was an eye-opening episode. You know, there are dynamics that are shifting. And first of all, Jen Fessler, I like Jen Fessler. I think that you look like a fool. And I put her right in the same category as Jackie Goldschneider. I think that both of them look entirely foolish. And I think it's very self-serving in the sense that they think by playing the sides that they're playing, they're going to get more screen time. I think it's an obvious. It's definitely an obvious. You know, people might say anything about Margaret, Melissa, Dolores, but at the end of the day, at least they're just sticking true to who they actually like and give a shit about. They're not playing sides, which is something that I can appreciate. And watching Jackie Goldschneider and Jennifer Aydin, I'm like, you ladies are playing sides like a mother. So Reality Blurb said, it's never a dull moment for the Real Housewives in New Jersey. If not a fight at the Tulum-themed birthday, then it's raising voices at Danielle's Bougie Kids relaunch event that Jeff Lewis called a children's line for the white trash kids. Oif. Danielle and Jennifer are telling two very different versions of what went down at Teresa's, but Messy Fessy inserts herself into some very dangerous territory. Now, Jen Fessler claims to be riding the fence, but she makes it clear that she has Jennifer's back in the situation. Plus, Margaret learns that Joe needs an MRI and a biopsy, which scares her half to death. It's the aftermath of Teresa's infamous Tulum party. Teresa is still trying to understand what happened between Danielle and Jennifer. Teresa's upset that they got physical, and this is going to pretty much be hard to come back from since they had their hands on each other. It was after 7 years, Marge's. It's always so weird for me to call her Marge because I call her Margaret. Her house is almost finally done, and poor Joe has been breaking his neck doing whatever job she has assigned him to. But Margaret is seriously worried about him since his PSA levels came back abnormal, and she's stressing herself out. But Joe remains in as she talks about the fear of prostate cancer. Now with Danielle, she's relaunching her brand Bougie Kids, and she's hosting a party to celebrate all of the changes made in the last few years. And Danielle has hired Kayla to put together the event. And although all of the women are invited, Jen Aydin is officially off the guest list after the shenanigans that went down the night before. Danielle is displeased that Jen has been lying and turning situations into the opposite of what really went down. And when Jen yoked Danielle, that's what they call it, yoking, she had no choice but to go into self-defense mode. And Danielle wonders if it started because of Lena and Laura, a past issue. And she muses that Jen no longer has a use for Danielle since she is not playing dirty. Now, besides the issue with Jennifer, Danielle is still dealing with her father, and she decided to invite him to the relaunch, and she asked Nate to be the middleman, relaying the message to her dad. Dolores has accepted the offer to help run Paul's electrical company, but she's already tired of working, and she blames her exhaustion on last night's fight. And she wonders if Melissa and Margaret even know what happened between Danielle and Jennifer since they weren't there. Rachel also wasn't at Teresa's, and so when she called Dolo, she gets the lowdown and questions the behavior of the ladies and the integrity of these friendships. But Rachel did not chat for long. Now, as she's attending a support group for kids with arthritis, a cause very near and dear to her heart since she too has experienced this. She's happier putting her time in with things that matter, like juvenile arthritis, and she realizes how much this puts things in perspective for her. Hmm. Moving on, Melissa's cousin Nick is getting married, and they asked Joe to officiate the wedding, which was so cute. And Nick was nervous to come out to all of the men in Melissa's family, and his partner's family didn't even come to the wedding because they have yet to accept that he is gay. But love is love, and this is a wedding to celebrate. So Joe talks about Nick's coming out story and points out that this family cheers everyone on and accepts everyone. It's a just position of how things are with Teresa as of late. Jennifer has Teresa and Messy Fessy over to discover the antics that went down at Teresa's, and Jen talks about how she was in shock. And she states that Jen crushed her cup on her, and Jen claims her reaction was a reflex and denies saying Danielle stole money from a charity. But Messy Fessy states that you don't charge for your time working on a charity, and Jen goes on to talk about Danielle's hair girl. Now, Jen Fessler seems to agree with everything that Jen Aydin is saying and points out that this beef started a long time ago. And Jen states that she's been trying to give Danielle the benefit of the doubt, and she claims that Danielle's selfish. Teresa feels very much so caught in the middle and is still planning on attending Danielle's Bougie Kids event. But Jen is displeased to hear this news because if someone were to punch Teresa, she would be loyal and skip the party. But Jen admits that she feels hurt by Teresa's refusal to take her side. Teresa, however, just wants her friends to make up, and Fessler understands the awkwardness of riding the line with new friends in warring groups. Now, in case anybody's wondering, Margaret has finally gotten a copy of Jackie's book, but she feels like Jackie has finally shown her who she is. But in other news, Margaret calls Joe's doctor and they find out that he needs an MRI and a biopsy due to his abnormal score from his PSA. Now, it did seem like Joe was cool as a cucumber, but he does do his best to kind of console Margaret instead of himself as she took the news. Moving on, Kayla's done a wonderful job putting together the Bougie Kids relaunch party, an actual kids' wonderland. But Nate lets Danielle know the news that her dad will not be attending since he is now sick. But Danielle was willing to try to keep rebuilding their relationship. Rachel arrives, and so does Tiffany and Jennifer Fessler, and the fight is the topic of the conversation. And Danielle clarifies that Jennifer said horrific, untrue things about her, and Danielle makes it clear that she never stole from charity. And Rachel feels like Jen Fessler is questioning Danielle's integrity, and Fessler points out that Jen has a different story. Jen Fessler wasted no time sharing that Jen felt threatened and wanted Danielle to realize she was part of what happened. And Jen Fessler wants the group to know that she is friends with Jennifer. And so she has her back. And Danielle states that Jen's lucky I didn't knock her off her shoulders, at least her head. Danielle goes on to tell the infamous hairdresser story once more, and she claims that Jennifer thanked her for letting her know that she would not be getting paid for the appearance on the website. But at this point, Rachel excuses herself once again because Teresa's rolling up, and Teresa lets Danielle know that Jen wasn't trying to hurt Danielle. Teresa doesn't know Jen to make up stories, and she denies that Jen said Danielle stole from a charity. But Teresa feels like Margaret is more evil than Jennifer, and she likens Marge to Satan herself. But when Melissa and Margaret enter, they remind Danielle not to lower herself to Jen's level and to enjoy the evening's positivity. And Danielle chooses to focus on her career as she has a countdown for the new relaunch of her party. Guys, I thought last night's episode was good, but what the biggest takeaway was Teresa and Jen Aydin. And we know that Jen Aydin is about to start curating a little bit more this relationship with Melissa Gorga. I don't know if Teresa's in on it because you never know what they're planning from behind the scenes. And Teresa was in on making a mockery out of Jackie Goldschneider. So why wouldn't she be? You don't think she planted Jen Aydin in there? Give me a break. I want to hear what you guys think. So pop off in the comment section, smash that like button, get subscribed, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys.